Okay, I want you to picture something. Imagine a country that was, not too long ago, literally the world's crime capital, a place absolutely terrorized by ruthless gangs. Now picture that exact same nation today as one of the safest countries in the world. So how on earth did that happen? Well, the answer is locked behind the walls of one single, unbelievable building.
It's hard to overstate just how dramatic the change in El Salvador has been. For decades, gangs like MS-13 and Barrio 18 had the country in a total grip of fear. But today, the streets are calm. And it's all thanks to this incredibly controversial strategy that revolves around the world's most formidable prison.
So who's the person behind all this? Well, it really comes down to one man, President Nayib Bukele. When he was elected back in 2019, he made a huge promise to wage an all-out war on the gangs that have been plaguing his country for years. And let me tell you, he wasn't just talking. He was about to take action on a scale that almost nobody saw coming.
So here's a quick rundown of how it all unfolded. After a really bad spike in gang violence, Bukele declared a state of emergency in March 2022. This gave the government these sweeping new powers. And what followed was just this massive wave of arrests. So many that the existing prisons were completely overflowing. They needed a new solution, and they needed it fast. That solution was CECOT, which opened just a year later.
Just try to wrap your head around the sheer scale of this. Under this state of emergency, a jaw-dropping 64,000 alleged criminals and gang members were arrested. An entire criminal underworld was basically rounded up in a short amount of time, which created this huge, unprecedented problem. Where do you even put all of them?
And the answer to that question was CECOT, which stands for the Center for the Confinement of Terrorism. It's about an hour from the capital. It's the largest prison in all of Latin America, and, well, a lot of people are calling it one of the most secure and heavily guarded prisons on the entire planet.
Escaping from here? It's considered completely impossible. This place is a modern-day fortress. We're talking 15-meter-high concrete walls, and they're topped with barbed wire. You've got 19 watchtowers giving a constant 360-degree view. And there's a permanent security force of 600 soldiers and 250 police officers. It's designed to be a statement of absolute total control.
And getting inside? Well, that's an ordeal in itself. It's a whole multi-layered process. First, you have to pass through multiple outer gates. Then you go through this advanced airport-style body scan where they check all your clothing. And finally, you're up against high-tech biometric verification. We're talking facial recognition, fingerprint scanners, to make absolutely sure no one gets in or out unidentified. So once you're inside this fortress, you find these two completely different worlds existing right next to each other. The government's thinking here is pretty clear. To control the world's most dangerous criminals, you need your guards to be well-rested, well-cared for, and totally focused. And their life is just a stark, stark contrast to the life of the inmates.
Let's talk about the guards first. The facilities for them are really designed for well-being. They have their own private dorms, a fully equipped gym, even barber services. They work on this 5-day on, 5-day off schedule. The logic is simple. To maintain maximum security, the people enforcing it have to be in peak physical and mental shape.
But for the inmates, it is a completely different universe. Life is stripped down to the absolute bare minimum. You've got cells designed for 100 people, but with only 80 beds. The lights, they are never ever turned off, which completely messes with their sense of time. They get no blankets, 0 family visits, and their diet is just beans and rice. They only get 30 minutes of exercise a day. This is not about rehabilitation, it's about pure, hard containment.
And who exactly are these inmates? Well, we're talking about the most hardened members of Latin America's two most notorious gangs, MS-13 and Barrio 18. Now, on the streets, these guys were bitter, warring rivals. And now, they're locked away together, their power completely neutralized inside the very same concrete walls.
So you might be wondering, how did the authorities identify them and round them up so quickly? Well, a key tool was actually the gang's own culture. Their tattoos, which were once a symbol of pride and terror on the streets, became this undeniable proof of who they were. Police have catalogs to decipher every single marking, and during the state of emergency, just having one could be enough to land you in CECOT. And these aren't just faceless statistics. They're individuals who committed some truly horrific crimes. Take this one MS-13 member. His crime? He murdered 5 people. And his reason for it? It's just chilling. They simply crossed into a territory that he decided was his. This is the kind of casual brutality the government wanted to stamp out.
And here's another, a member of the rival Barrio 18 gang. You can see his 18 tattoo, marking his affiliation. His crime was the murder of a young girl, a promising athlete. He didn't just end her life, he stole her entire future. These are the stories that really highlight the terrible human cost of the gang violence that had a chokehold on the nation.
Now, inside the prison, there's a punishment designed to keep every single person in line. Any inmate who misbehaves is sent straight to a solitary confinement cell. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a completely dark room with no light and no human contact. They're put in there for 15 days, which is a powerful deterrent against anyone even thinking about causing trouble.
But you know, even amongst all these hardened criminals, there are these flashes of reflection. One MS-13 member, a guy responsible for 30 murders, actually expressed this deep remorse. He said, "I cry every day and regret what I have done, but it's too late." And then he added this. He said he joined the gang when he was just 11 years old. A really stark reminder of just how deep-rooted this whole problem was.
And this brings us right back to the outside world. The conditions inside CECOT, they're severe. Civil liberties have definitely been curtailed. But what has been the result for the average person living in El Salvador?
For many, the answer is incredibly simple. For the first time in decades, maybe in their entire lives, they feel safe. That constant threat of extortion, of violence, of murder that just defined daily life, it's pretty much gone. And this newfound sense of security has become the foundation for President Bukele's overwhelming public support.
I mean, the numbers really speak for themselves here. When Bukele was first elected in 2019, he won with a clear majority, around 50%. But after he launched his war on gangs, his support just skyrocketed. In the 2024 election, he won with a staggering 85% of the vote. That's not just a victory, it's a decisive, massive public endorsement of his methods.
And that brings us to the central burning question at the heart of all of this. The Bukele model, as it's being called, has delivered undeniable results when it comes to public safety. But at what cost? Is this an effective, necessary solution for a nation in crisis? Or is it a dangerous blueprint for tyranny that sacrifices fundamental rights for security? That, right there, is the question left in the wake of El Salvador's incredible transformation.